Hello everyone. I've decided to do another video. It just occurred to me that some people might complain that I'm comparing an SSD system to a conventional hard drive system, and you've got a point. So I reinstalled Mavericks onto a standard 7200 RPM hard drive, and we're going to compare it to the iMac. Now the iMac probably has a 2.5 inch 5200 RPM hard drive in it. That's pretty standard for a laptop these days. And as it goes back to another video that I was talking to you about, was the iMac generally has laptop components in it opposed to desktop components. Apple, I think it was from 2008, decided that they wanted smaller components in the iMac to make it smaller. The trade-off with that is they started introducing laptop components rather than using what I would consider desktop components. Basically, if you open up an old laptop and compare it to a desktop, you can clearly see that the desktop has more hard-wearing components in it. So, without further ado, let's do a startup test. I've reinstalled Mavericks onto a conventional hard drive on the Mac Pro, so hopefully it'll give you an idea on speed regarding, you know, the actual startup time. So let's get to it, and hopefully you'll be able to see it in this video. So let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. So the point of doing this test is to try and make it more fairer, to make sure that I give you an honest side-by-side comparison when we've got, you know, the same type of hard drive being used, because sometimes it can be unfair when you're comparing an SSD drive to a conventional hard drive. It is a bit of an unfair test, a bit like comparing a Ferrari to a Ford. So when this is loaded up properly, hopefully we can get to the test. So let's just see if the iMac has set up yet. No, we're still waiting for it. Right, the iMac seems to be ready. Let's see. No, we're still loading on the Mac Pro. And it does look like the Mac Pro is ready now. So clearly straight away you can see that the iMac is certainly quicker. What you've got to remember is it's got a 3.4 GHz rated speed processor compared to 2.9 on the Mac Pro. Even though the Mac Pro has 12 cores and the iMac has 4 cores, it's still rated higher. So let's open a program. We want to open Photoshop, so it gives you an idea on speed. So let's just get into Photoshop. Double click on that. As you can see, the iMac has beat that test, certainly. We're still waiting on the Mac Pro. And there we go. So it's clearly a lot quicker the iMac is. You know, if you want to check the actual time, just look at the timing on the actual video and that'll give you an indication on the speed difference. So let's quit Photoshop. And let's try Final Cut Pro. Just double click on that. Try again. Let's try and open Final Cut Pro side by side. So the iMac wins that, it's certainly quicker. Right, here I've imported a movie clip which is 2 minutes long into both systems, and I want to test how long it takes to export it, and let's see which actually wins, because again we've got 4 cores versus 12. Now Final Cut Pro does utilise multiple cores, so without further ado, let's see how it does when we export. So we've got a file of 302 megabytes, and let's just export it and see how long it takes. Save it and go. Already the iMac is jumping ahead. We're basically twice as fast on the iMac. So let's just give it a bit of time. So we're up to 70% while the Mac Pro is around 32%. And there you go. The iMac has finished, and if I'm giving you an estimate on how faster it is, it's about twice as fast. So those extra cores don't seem to be helping that much. And there you go, the video has been completed on the Mac Pro. So let's see how quickly we can get the computers to shut down as it stands from here. So let's go to shutdown. On both systems and do it at the same time so the test is fair. Shut down. Shut down. Go. So the iMac has turned off and the Mac Pro is just shut off now. So the reason I redid this test is because I wanted to show a fair result from the Mac Pro having a conventional hard drive rather than SSD, because in some instances with the SSD in there it can match the performance of the iMac. So if you want to breathe some new life into an old computer, putting an SSD can give you similar results to say buying a brand new computer. Just keep that in mind, guys. but I just wanted to show you the differences of new versus old. It is the thing with the Mac Pro that I find beneficial over the iMac is upgradability. It can hold 4 hard drives in its bays. You can put graphic card in, new ones. I've got a 3GB ATI 7950 in there, which is basically the same as this, I think, because this is a GX775. I think it's got 2GB in there, so it's a little bit more in the Mac Pro. But you know, sometimes that upgradability might be more handy to you, because at some point the iMac hard drive will fail. Believe it, it will. And what do? Do you go to Apple or a repairer to get it repaired? But it won't be a cheap repair, it'll be a very expensive one, because engineers rate the repair level to actually open that up and put a new hard drive in at a 4.5 out of 5. Extremely difficult. There are people who do say you can do it yourself, and there are kits you can buy to do it yourself. I think OWC do a kit for about £50 where you get some suction cups. The problem with it is if you make a mistake, it will be a costly mistake, and you just write your machine off basically. So you need to think long and hard about if you do want to think about fixing that yourself. I would highly recommend you do not attempt it. If you want to see some photos of what it takes to do it, have a look on my other video regarding iMac versus Mac Pro. You'll be able to see a few pictures which will demonstrate what's involved. And it's not for the faint-hearted, so please don't try it. So, hope this video was helpful. Thank you. Bye.